Mass Customization, History and Applications, a documentary by Matthew Connor, Jonathan Seery, and Thomas Sullivan.
To understand the basic precept of mass customization, consider the relationship between product variety and production volume in a typical supply chain. Up until the 19th century, economies were nearly all based on craft production, where goods were produced a few at a time by skilled workers or artisans. Craft production enabled producers to easily accommodate what customers asked for, but this system was limited to low production volumes. Conversely, upon the advent of mass production in the 19th century, manufacturers could produce in very large volumes. However, they limited product variety in order to reduce unit cost to manageable levels. Prior to the arrival of mass customization, supply chains inevitably experienced this trade-off between product variety and production volume: a lot of variety in small volumes, or large volumes with very little variety. Mass customization is a strategy or mechanism that pushes this boundary towards achieving high product variety at mass production unit costs. It is important to note that mass customization will and should look different in every company that it is implemented in. Mass customization is not merely another point on this graph that companies should work towards achieving. It is a mechanism to minimize the trade-off that non-mass customizing supply chains experience.
Now that we understand how mass customization came about, we can examine a case study to see an actual implementation plan. This case study will go into more details about how and why a business would adopt a mass customization model. As an example, this case study will follow the creation and improvement of the Springfield Trophy Shop. The Springfield Trophy Shop was founded by Jim Jones, a parent of one of the local Springfield youth hockey players. He originally had the goal of only crafting trophies for his son's team, and it was more of a hobby for him than a business. However, after he realized that there were no local trophy shops, he began to think that there was a business opportunity for a local trophy shop. This thought was solidified when he showed his brother one of the trophies, and his brother from the next town over, East Springfield, mentioned that his son's hockey team was also interested in trophies. With this information in hand, Jim bought some additional equipment and placed an advertisement in the newspaper. At this point, he had evolved from a craft production of just a few items into a mass production system. With his new equipment in hand, more orders were coming into the Springfield Trophy Shop than Jim could fill. He increased the capacity of his trophy-making equipment and enlisted the help of his brother, who was originally so interested in making the trophies. At this time, he could only make hockey trophies, which were generically engraved. Though they sold to many of the surrounding hockey leagues, soon other sports teams were also looking for trophies. With this increased demand, Jim knew that he had to buy more equipment and that he had to ensure that his mass production system was not only working, but that it was lean. After he caught up with the incoming hockey orders, Jim refined his manufacturing process, adding additional machines and materials. He applied several lean techniques such as 5S, 6 Sigma, and single-piece flow. He also was able to balance his production line. And with this balanced production line, Jim's business was really starting to take off. He was able to decrease lead times to his customers and increase the amount of variety of products that he made. There was still one leap to make, however, the leap to mass customization. Jim knew that this was critical to the long-term success of his trophy shop. Now that Jim had a fully working, lean facility, he purchased an engraving machine. After he had vetted the new engraving machine and made sure that it worked with all his current models, he created a brand new website for the Springfield Trophy Shop. This website was a huge improvement over his newspaper and word-of-mouth advertising, and allowed him to reach more customers both in the local area, but also starting to get more regional and statewide sales. This website allowed customers to order online and to add a personalized message to each trophy. This could be a player name, a tournament name, the team name, or really anything that the customer wanted. The customer could select from any variety of sports and other achievement-based trophies. He instantly saw an increase in orders and was able to charge a premium fee for the personalized trophies. Jim had been able to drive his company from a craft-style production system to a mass-customized system. There are a few key takeaways from this case study. The first is that the implementation was specific to his business. Although he was able to learn about the equipment that he would need, website design from other trophy shops, and either other manufacturers that were making things similar to trophies, his implementation was specific. It would have been impossible for him to go to another trophy shop and copy exactly what they did. The second important thing to note is that mass customization is extremely important to trophy customers. People who are buying trophies are looking for a trophy that says exactly the achievement on exactly the day it happened. They're looking for the name of the team or the name of the person. They don't want just a generic trophy because the achievement is not generic. Otherwise, it's a meaningless trophy without a good personalized plaque. The third thing to note is that mass customization does not happen overnight. This took Jim months to figure out how to go through all the classic manufacturing steps before he could successfully implement the system. It would have been impossible for him to start at the mass customization level. He had to start at the craft production level to learn how to make something. Then he had to learn how to make many of them, then how to make many varieties of them, and how to make a balanced production line. And finally, after that, he was able to buy the equipment to implement a mass customization system. We have just a few closing notes to go over. The first is that mass customization has evolved from mass production over the past century. Over the past 20 years especially, it has grown enormously in popularity and is being implemented in many companies. Why is it being implemented and why is it growing? Well, it allows companies to deliver personalized goods to their customers, and this makes the customers very happy because they're getting exactly what they want. And an implementation of a successful system allows companies to have higher profit margins because they're able to charge more for their products. And it allows them to have a lower manufacturing cost, a faster lead time, and many other critical benefits to the company. Therefore, it is critically important that over the next few years, that more and more companies begin to implement successful mass customization systems. And we're going to see this grow immensely over the next few decades.